That's great. I'm so happy to see so many of you all this afternoon. Do you all have any questions for me? Last week we had some homework to do with the avocado seed. Anybody did it? No one did it. I didn't get any avocados, so I wasn't able to do it. But let me know as soon as you try it. Let me know. Any questions on anything we have done so far? You weren't here, so you would like to know. Someone told us, who was the person who told us of the Sister Minister Bascom? Could we have the other mic so she can at least let you know exactly what was said? Right? We learned that we normally eat the outer portion, or I should say the middle portion of an avocado. We throw away the skin and we throw away the seed. And she was giving us a good suggestion of what we can do with the seed and the benefits of it. She's here, Minister Bascom. By the time she's getting ready, turn your Bibles to Genesis chapter 1 for me. Go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Well, I learned that we normally throw away the best part of the avocado. They said the seed contains all the potassium and everything that is needed, the body that is needed. But we eat the flesh, but the seed has the real thing in it. So what you do is you peel out the outer skin of the seed and you cut it up and dice it up, or you could grate it and bake it. And then you add it to your stew and so forth. Yeah. It tastes good. They said it tastes good. And, no, I have never tried it personally. But I will try it sometime this week. But, yeah, but what they said is that we throw away the best part, the most healthy part of the avocado. So instead of throwing it away and thinking that you get it from the flesh part, you get it from the seed, all the potassium and everything that the body needs. So instead of throwing it, when you buy avocado, if you pay $25 for avocado, don't just eat the fleshy part. Also eat the seed also, so that you can get your $25 worth, plus what the vitamins or whatever it contains that your body needs. Amen?
Praise God. You know what I've also learned too, that if you really read a lot of the books, health books, you realize even the skin of most of the fruits and so forth that we throw away, we can use it. Even if we can start with just rubbing our faces and neck and so forth, you find that you leave it, that could be a natural mask that you can use. It saves us some money. Help us look a little bit more teenage now. Let's see how long we are occupying till Christ comes. So while we are occupying, let's make the best of it. I remember a sister that used to be around us used to say there's only one time of trouble. And that time of trouble is in the future. When that time comes and we have no choice but to see trouble, then we see trouble. But in the meantime, let's make the best of it. Yes, Pastor.
Yes, to add to that, you, not only in stews, right, but in your punches, you could do that. And you know the bishop like a lot of punch. So chance you could get a seed, because it really could be
strengthen him.
A wonder working thing. I tried it already, you know.
Really?
Yes, I took these seeds and, you know, leave them there, dry them, and afterwards, the process of putting it into the oven is to sort of dry out some of the moisture.
Moisture, yes.
But I left my own there and they dried
naturally dried.
Or as a matter of fact, what I did, I blend it. When you blend it, it comes like powder.
Yes.
And you keep turning it from time to time and you will see it, you know.
And that's a good thing, because what you've done, you have increased the surface area and you have made the particles smaller, so the process of drying would be a lot easier than if you leave the seed as a whole body, a whole unit.
So
that's a very good idea.
From time to time when I'm making my little smoothie, whether it's green smoothie, you put a tablespoon or a teaspoon in it and blend it up. And
interesting.
And use it, right?
New
because
things.
As was said, it is that's the best part that you're throwing away, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, they say that that's the best part you're throwing away. So you need to, people need to take it and try it, man. Try it. You might like it.
All right, so that's an ongoing homework that we have, right? Don't think of how it might possibly taste. Just plunge, do it, and let's see what it's like. All right? I always believe in trying most things, not everything, at least once, and see. All right? Okay, so this afternoon for health, what I decided to do, rather than go into something, bring a new topic, a whole topic, I'm just going to take a few minutes because Sister Chenna has to come. So I'm going to start in Genesis chapter 1. Most of us would have known why we do what we do, but to refresh the minds of us, our minds, and for those who may not be familiar with why we do what we do in terms of vegetarian eating, because you'd recognize when we come, most of our meals are vegetarian, right? Getting to the point of vegan, right? So we're getting there. Okay, so we look at verse 20, from verse 26 to 31. It says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Now I want you to pay particular attention now. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So initially, when God created the earth, heavens and the earth, he created man, he created the animals. All of us had the same diet. Same diet across the board. We all ate herbs, straight up. We know sin came in and things started changing. The flood came, and because there was no vegetation on the earth, because the earth was covered with water, he permitted Noah and his family to eat flesh, right? He said, and even in giving him flesh, he told him what of the flesh to eat. He didn't just say, go and kill, bless and eat. You know, like today they say, bless and eat. So you see a frog and it looking nice, have nice fat legs, and he decide, bless and eat. No, he didn't say that. He had clean meats and he had unclean meats. The unclean meats were not for eating, right? Neither by the humans nor for the animals. They were not for eating. They had a purpose to fulfill, all right, to balance the ecology, all right? Those of you who may be more scientifically minded could probably do a little delving into the process, what the lower level of the strata of the pyramid, what they do. So you would know what the scavengers and all these things, they had to clean the earth and so forth. They were not for us to ingest. People make a delicacy out of scavengers and they tell you, oh, it looks so nice, and they put it on every magazine, but they are scavengers. They're like dustbins on legs. That's what they do. They clean up the earth, and you're taking all that toxins, all those pollution, and you put into your body. What do you think is going to happen inside of you? That's right. Okay, so we need to be wise about what we're doing. Don't just because you put a little seasoning and a little pepper and the celebrity did eat this and the celebrity ate that, you don't know about all the illness and the sickness that he might have, all right? And what he might get away with, your system may not necessarily get away with, all right? Your body's a temple. You're going to say something. Go ahead.
So they dress it up nice, you know?
Definitely so.
I remember that a person told me that somebody gave them something to eat, and afterwards they asked them, you know what you ate? And she said, well, I don't know what it was, and then they said it was the crocodile. But it was I forget the name they call it. Cayman, right?
Wow.
And what she said, boy, that thing tastes so nice. If they have more cayman, I will eat that cayman, right? Because of the way that they dress it up, you know?
And made it taste so good, huh?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it change it, blessing it. You trying to bless it doesn't make it blessed. Right? So therefore we need to be careful of that. 3 John now. 3 John, verse 2. 3 John, that's at the back. You have 1st, 2nd, and 3 John, the last one. 3 John, just before Jude. Right? 3 John, verse 2. It says, beloved, okay, I'll wait. 3 John. You have Revelation is your last book. If you go forward, you have Jude, and then you have 3 John. Are we there now? All right. He says, beloved, verse 2, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. That is God's wish for us, that we prosper and be in health. Prosper financially, socially, emotionally, all the lees. And he says, and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. So in accordance to how you prosper spiritually, you should also prosper physically. All right? So we need to understand that the spirit and the soul, spirit and the body, they go hand in hand. If one is ill, many times it affects the other. Right? And we need to be aware of that. Your final text that I want you to look at is in Proverbs, which we should be able to find. Proverbs 23. And then I'll do a quick reading and I'll be out of here. Proverbs 23. This is after Psalms. All right, we're going from verses 1. It says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Let's back up. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Now, it means that when you go out to eat, you're not just going to say, oh, food, and you start eating. You have to consider diligently, carefully, what is put before you. He could bless and eat, so to speak, all that is unclean, but you will never be blessed. And you knowing better, going to eat that will not do well for your system either. We need to consider diligently what is before thee. It says, put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Which of us is going to take a knife and put to our throats? None of us. But that's to tell you how serious it is. We're not going to do it, but he says, consider that it is more profitable for you to die. That's what he's actually saying, and then suicide is not something that God condones. But he's saying it's better you die, you put yourself to death, than eat some of the things that are going to be placed on before you in front at these people's table. That's important. That's to tell you how much he wants us to treasure our bodies. We are not going to hurt ourselves. Self-preservation comes natural to each of us. But he's saying, put a knife to your throat if you be a man given to appetite. And we need to ask ourselves, are we individuals? When I say man, it means it's a generic term. As men and women, because some of us as women put away real good, just as some of these men. In fact, we put some men to shame. Right? We have had some members among us who their plate could be too high and they're going down with every last piece, and the men might just eat a little bit. So I know women can eat just as well as men. But if we are given to appetite, if we are on a seafood diet, you know the seafood diet? Where we seafood and we just keep eating, You know, we normally say you now got it, right? Right? We talk about eating every 5 to 6 hours between